Now welcome back to the Flight Simulator and welcome back to the city of Stuttgart. Yeah, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator and this is Stuttgart indeed. We all know Stuttgart city, right? You know, the birthplace of Porsche and Mercedes-Benz, and yes, it's Porsche, whatever. Of course, this is a pretty large city in Germany, and of course, it needs a large airport. In fact, Stuttgart Airport is the 6th largest airport in Germany too. And, you know, since we're in the Flight Simulator, of course, it must have that airport implemented into the sim, right? See, the thing is, I've actually flown to Stuttgart Airport in real life, in the Cirrus plane. I've talked to the tower and everything, and I've actually flown above the city of Stuttgart, and I know where the airport of Stuttgart actually is supposed to be. And, well, it should be right here. It should be literally right here. And, well, you can tell also by the title of this video, yes, Stuttgart Airport is actually not implemented into the Flight Simulator. This is literally what it looks like right here. Again, I'm not joking. I have been to the real airport in real life. I've been in the terminals and everything. Of course, this is a pretty large airport. You can see big airlines flying here, Condor, German Wings, whatever. Pretty much any airline, probably Ryanair. Yeah, Ryanair too, totally. But not here in the Flight Simulator, which I think is quite a great mystery. Because this is actually not the only airport that's weirdly completely missing in the Flight Simulator. Actually, this is very strange. The only way to really add this airport here into the Flight Simulator is, I guess, by, you know, downloading an add-on for it. Yeah, for example, here with Just Sim, you have to pay almost 24 euros for the privilege to actually visit this pretty large, 6th largest airport in Germany, which is something that I thought would be interesting. And there's actually an interesting, explanation behind all this. And it's basically, I think, because this is actually not only a commercial airport and also a general aviation airport. Yes, there are flight schools here too, but this is also used as a military airfield. Yes, it is actually very common to see, for example, the Luftwaffe, which is the German Air Force, operate here at this airport with this Airbus A400M, I think, plane. Oh, I'm really bad at military planes, honestly. Welcome back to Swiss 01. But no, it is quite common to really see some military operation here. For example, a U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster with an allow me stock photo. Welcome back to Swiss 01. Which is actually the reason why this airport is not implemented into the Flight Simulator. See, Germany is a little strict on when it comes to satellite imagery and exposing stuff, which is actually the reason because, for example, on Microsoft Bing Maps, which is Microsoft map service, you cannot find this airport, you know, as a satellite scenery either. I mean, we can take a look here. Aerial, there we go. It's completely pixelated here. Something we do see a bit often in the internet, but that's another story. But no, this airport is generally blocked from Bing Maps, and so also from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, because again, it uses Bing Maps, which I think is an interesting thing. I mean, this is literally the 6th largest airport in German land. This is so weird. And this is actually quite strange because all the nearby airports, even though they are very small, like this one, Pattonville, is actually implemented into the Flight Simulator. Again, Stuttgart itself here isn't. And by the way, Stuttgart Airport, which is again the 6th largest airport in German land, is by far not the only airport that is missing. There are so many, but there's one airport that is really, really strange to be missing. See, we have already talked a bit about St. Helena Airport, St. Helena Island. Probably one of the most interesting, very remote islands on this planet. The thing is, it is missing here, okay? So we can actually just go for a little bit of an exploration. At St. Helena Island should be around here, right? Literally in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, probably around here. And it's not showing up at all. Yeah, the only thing that comes is Helena, West Helena. Where the hell's that? Of course it's the US. I mean, literally, I tried this earlier. You can even enter Stuttgart here, and it will show you some random Stuttgart in the US too. Welcome back to Swiss 01. But no, St. Helena Island, again, another very major airport in the news, is just missing like that. And I mean, you can see it here on the 4-flight radar, for example, which is what I use for piloting around. It even does show up very nicely here on the map, Georgios, which is the island. And we can maybe find, oh wait, I found the island indeed. Wow, but we can maybe spawn into it. Yeah, we can spawn into it. We cannot check out any I want to see how that looks. Alright, everybody, we found the island, and wow, this looks absolutely staggeringly bad here. Holy moly. This is not at all what the beautiful island of St. Helena actually does look like. Now, let's turn off the autopilot. Maybe can we find the airport? I mean, it should be somewhere here. It's a big airport. It should be foundable. I think it is actually supposed to be here. This is where it's supposed to. I think this road actually would lead to the actual airport indeed. It just doesn't exist here. How? We can check it out in the map too. Oh. Wait, I can maybe see why this airport actually is missing. Oh, it does actually say it here. Ascension Island Auxiliary Air Base. This is another air base. Oh, I did not know actually that about the airport of St. Helena. It did previously seem to be just a normal civilian airport, but it isn't. Wow, okay, that's interesting. This air base, apparently, where, you know, civilian planes also totally operate and have to operate, is missing too. That is just really strange, isn't it? This air base thing is really interesting. I mean, it's not all air bases. For example, I know the air base of Ramstein, which is literally a US Air Force air base in German land, is totally flyable here in the flight sim. I really don't get this. Yeah, I would suggest this looks much better than the Stuttgart airport. Not only an airbase, this is just an airbase, and it's still totally, completely, in its entirety, showing up in the flight simulator. This is just a really great mystery, isn't it? All right, a landing coming up. No, that's actually been okay. We do have very bad winds here too. We'll come back to Swiss Air 1, just justifying. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Another airport that is very weirdly missing in the flight simulator 2 is this one here in, where is this? Yeah, it's Eindhoven in the Netherlands. You know, you can see this is actually a pretty big airport, 10,000 foot long runway. We have arrival frequencies, ground frequencies. This is actually a controlled, really big airport. Ryanair flies here. Poor runway. And it's not at all a thing in the flight simulator. I really don't get this. Or we have talked about places like that one in Greenland. I think it's called Narzurak. It doesn't exist either. It's a really famous airport. Or also Vagar Airport and stuff like that. Also an airport we have talked about before in the videos. Never seen here in the flight simulator. Or maybe let's talk the new Istanbul airport. Built to be literally one of the most biggest airports on the planet. Really. It was actually recently finished. But 1 year before the flight simulator was finished. Let's enter the code and see if it works. No, it doesn't show up at all. Maybe the air database is outdated or something. Now, by the way, I've just really shown you some airports that I know that are missing. There are a few more. Actually, how many more? Here's generally a list here. Starting with, of course, Narzurak Airport in Greenland. We can scroll down a little bit. It's quite a few airports, actually. It is quite a few airports. That's great to see. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, that is the great thing about having the opportunities to install add-ons. I mean, you can literally add any airport now for free in flightsim.to, for example. Very big website, of course. Over 2,000 airports now posted. That's just great just to think about. Not all of them are super good, but at least we do have all airports, right? So yeah, that is the weirdly missing airports of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Some you can explain, some you can't explain. Maybe I'm not quite sure. They just didn't. I don't know. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. Now, thank you to my members here on YouTube like Block, Emite, Mubarak, Mike, Ethan, Darren, Stefan, Ian, Oman the Human, Rafael Brikowski, Junk in the Trunk, Moritz, Toby, Great Grandpa John, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, New York, Tyler Park, Cheese Doritos, Shadow, Anime Planes 001, X-Men Show, Deslama, Featuring Kellen, Me By You, Captain Cameron, Spiro, Gary, Norwegian, Bajel, and Parology.